for a one-year term beginning July 14th and ending June 13th, 2006.
What's his wage?
Here's the
How much does
resolution.
he get paid? No answer? That's right. That's
not
not
in-
in,
we just
that's
pay
not in the resolution.
$1,000 more.
$12,000 a year. And that couldn't go towards anything else, right? It had to go towards this. You couldn't keep your fire department open, keep your citizens safe. That's more. You had to go to someone else. That's more than they paid the chief. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You're putting your citizens at risk for nothing.
I'm sorry. All right, ready to act on this? Yes. Rick? Yes. Karen? Yes.
Is Steve Little still getting paid too, on top of the hearing? Or is it over now? Is he done being paid?
The, in addition to the resolution,
No callback for
appointing Brian
prosecutors to
Spellman
reschedule interviews. No,
as Township Fire Prevention Officer, there is a independent contractor agreement was drawn up by our office for his services. As previously indicated by the board, Mr. Spellman will serve for a one-year term commencing today and including up through and including June 13th, 2016, I'm sorry. And he'll be paid at the rate of $12,000 a year. His duties pursuant to the revised code are indicated in the independent contractor agreement.
Now, if the fire department's been dissolved, can we justify a township administrator's salary?
And you passed a resolution entering into the contract on signing both of those documents. That is the agreement that will be given. My understanding that Mr. Spellman has agreed to those terms and conditions and will sign this document.
Yeah, okay, so that's what we're out here.
I'll get the signature.
Yeah. Mark, hold a copy.
I have a question. What happens to the paid staff that's at Madison Township? Do they get to keep their job or are they fired?
They can apply with Hannah.
They can apply. So they've had this job for how long now and they have to reapply? They get fired with no pay, nothing? Nothing. That's nice. Yeah, but still, how long will that be for?
I have nothing else.
These guys are much better trained than
Hey, Rick, I've been patient for months. Can I just ask the attorney a simple question?
That's up to them, okay?
I mean, I'm not gonna raise my voice. I'm not
No,
gonna
no,
holler
that,
at you.
that,
I
that
just have
will,
a simple question I'd like to ask the attorney.
that will be up to them if they want to answer.
Okay.
Sir, there's a question he wants to ask her.
This gentleman would like to ask a question of the attorneys. And I said, that is totally up to you, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Okay.
paying?
Basically, I've been listening to this thing for a few months. I haven't raised my voice, I haven't taken sides, I haven't said anything, but every time there's an attorney here, they say what the rights of the boards are. And they say what the responsibility of the boards are. And I understand that. Just let me ask a question, please. Like I said, I don't want to raise my voice, I'm not gonna holler, rant, rave, or anything like that. But my question is, as a taxpayer, and we're paying the levies that were passed for the fire department, now that the fire department is gone, number one, you know, does the tax levies come back to us?
No,
Since
still
we're paying for
the
something,
building and equipment.
since we're paying for something that doesn't exist anymore? And number two, you've told them what their rights are, you've told them what their responsibility are. As citizens of this township, what are our rights? That's what I'd like to know.
Good question.
Simple question, I'd just like to know what our rights
Well,
are.
there are a couple questions there, sir, if I may.
Okay.
The tax levies stay in the township.
Okay.
So the taxes that we all pay in our respective townships stay at that township.
But
If
we
you're
passed
hiring,
the fire levy for the fire
right,
department,
but
right?
let me give you an example.
Okay.
You also have road and bridge levy, right?
Right.
And you, as a township, like other townships, hire a company to come in and pave your road. That's contracting for the services. Those services, not all of the local services are provided by employees of that organization. So hiring outside help, outside contractors is a common practice. So the first part of your question, if I recall it correctly, is what happens to your tax dollars? They stay here.
Okay,
And then your township, your elected representatives decide how they will expend or appropriate or spend those dollars, okay?
Even though the fire levies were stated for the Madison Township Fire Department? I mean, they
I
were
don't-
stated for Hanover.
Well, I can't answer.
Okay.
I can't go to what was on the ballot. It was probably for fire. My guess is if it's used the boilerplate language years ago when you passed the levy, it said for fire and protective services.
Okay.
It didn't say
I don't know how it was worded.
to establish it. Again, I don't know.
We
what-
just assumed.
The boilerplate language is for fire and safety services, like your bridge and roads will say for bridges and roads in Madison Township. So then it becomes a question of what is the most effective and efficient way of spending those dollars for the designated purpose.
Okay.
But what you definitely have is, because it's a levy for a specific purpose, those are designated dollars. They can't be spent on anything else. So you have a little bit of general fund money, then you have your road, then you have your fire and EMS budget out there, or levies out there. Those cannot be poured over one from the other.
Okay.
The same thing with your license plate tax that you pay that goes to the county engineer. That dollars the county commissioners can't spend that on anything else. They can only spend it on roads and bridges that the county highway department maintains. Now, back to your question about what are the rights of the citizens. The rights of the citizens are, spoken through your elected officials. They are your elected representatives. Those are the ones who have the responsibility to balance the difficult issues that they face on this and every other decision that they make. So when there's rights of citizens, the question is, to what end are you referring?
Well, I don't really know. Like I said, for months now, I've been coming to meetings. Like I said, I'm not taking the township side. I'm taking the fire department side. I'm just as a citizen here trying to figure out what's going on. That for months this argument's been continuing. That money's been spent to investigate so and so. Money's been spent here. Money's been spent there. Money's been spent for attorneys. Money's been spent. And as a citizen, for my taxpayer, my tax money, and I'll say that I'm naive when it comes to politics, because I spent 20 years in the military doing what I was told. But now that I have a voice, it's strange to me that, all this money goes out with no exception to, what citizens think. And yes, they were right that, for the last few months, everybody has voiced their opinion of what's going on. But in the same sense, questions have been asked, opinions have been said, and the board 9 times out of 10, and this is no disrespect to you guys, but 9 times out of 10 sit there and say nothing, no comment, or even the attorneys that have come in, even the district attorney that's come in, we will not talk to you. That's not, it's not our place. You'll find out everything later down the road.
Well,
Well,
let me,
7 months later, and what, $40,000, am I safe to say $40,000 been spent over this project?
let me back up. I have to clarify one thing. The investigation is separate and apart. That, you know from the law that when certain allegations are made, there's certain responsibilities. If someone makes an allegation against an officer in the military, and thank you for your service, when allegations are made, they have to be investigated. But the decision about a fire department or another operational issue is made separate and apart from that.
I understand that.
So that's something that really is a totally separate issue, and it's a responsibility of every employer, public employers, private employers, companies, the military, when there are allegations made about conduct, inappropriate or potentially conduct that violates the law, discrimination laws in particular. Every employer has a responsibility, an absolute responsibility to investigate that, and that has to happen.
And I understand that. And for months, it's been told that when the investigation's over with, the decision will be made.
As to what the allegations are in the investigation.
And what would
We're
happen
not
to the
involved
fire
in the,
department.
we're not involved in the investigation.
I understand that. I understand that completely.
So that has
But a
to take.
decision has been made on the fire department without the investigation being completed.
Because investigation is a totally separate issue, a totally separate track. It's a question of whether or not anything can or will be done after that. The township will have to weigh it after they see the results of the investigation.
But they didn't win.
No, weigh, W-E-I-G-H,
Okay.
weigh it, not wait. So there was no reason they had to wait, there's no reason to wait.
So then why didn't they close it 7 months ago, then, if they didn't have to wait for the investigation?
Do you have any other questions?
No, I
sir?
think that's it.
All right, very good, thank you.
Anything else?
We just have to use it as a release.
Yeah.
John, can second.
You can just use that as your release.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
I hope none of you need Hanover, because it'll take them 30 minutes to get there.
Thank you.
Good luck. I